Well, we're in Genesis 34 and verse 9. Genesis 34 and verse 9 is where we are. We have looked at the Hebrew language, and we have studied the Bible all the way up to Genesis, the 34th chapter and verse 9, looking at it with a microscope. And it's beautiful. We have learned a lot, haven't we? Even from a lot different than the English Bible, isn't it? A whole lot different. Now, we'll read it in Hebrew, but we'll look at the grammar and the roots of the words, and you'll have tests all along, of course, you know. And some people will get F's and some people will get A pluses. And anyway, and then D's and D minuses and everything. I got an A minus for my class I taught this morning. That's what Brother Brett told me. I taught on the Antichrist. We talked about the Antichrist. It'll be up on the website. We hit Hatanu, Otanu, Mino Tehem, Titinu, Lanu, Wiat, Benotenu, Tikhu, Likhem. You go from right to left. It's backwards. Everything east of Jerusalem is what? Right to left. Everything this side of Jerusalem is left to right. All right? Now, what we have, and I forgot to bring my Amplified Bible. Who's got an Amplified Bible tonight? Oh, yes, Ulysses got an Amplified Bible. What? No, not yet. Not yet. We'll get you up here pretty soon. You did a real good job reading it last week. You want me to get Ulysses up here this week? All right. And you intermarry with us, your daughters, and you keep on giving to us, and our daughters, you keep on taking for yourselves. Now what we have here is Shechem and Hamor, remember? We're at the city of Shechem. All right, what does Shechem mean? All right, this is a test. Now, hold on just a little bit. I know that this young lady here knows. All right? Shechem means what? Now you do. What? Shelter. All right, Shechem means shelter. Oh, now what does Hamor mean? Hamor. What does Hamor mean? What does Hamor mean? A jackass. All right, remember that? Hamor means jackass. And it's not a derogatory term. It's a high term. Because a jackass, a male donkey is very strong for its size. You go look in any time you look at Middle East films, you'll see a jack loaded down with a lot. Looks like 3 times his weight. Great cumbersome loads on this, and he just keeps on going. Hamor must have been a very strong man for them to call him a jack. Their term today would be somebody named Jack. All right, and that is a term which means strong. All right. So we've got Jack, and we've got shelter. We've got Hamor, and we've got Shechem, and we have Jacob. What does Jacob mean? What does Jacob mean?
Follow the heel or something?
It means to follow the heel, like a healer, like a Queensland healer, someone that follows the heel. His father called him the one who followed the heel. What does Esau mean? Huh? Hairy. Esau means hairy. All right. Means hairy. And they're making a contract here, by the way. This is a contract. This is a legal contract. What happens, last week we watched and we saw that Dinah, and what does Dinah mean? Dinah. This is Jacob's daughter Dinah from Leah. All right. What does Dinah mean?
Does it mean something dark?
No.
That's Delilah.
Yeah. Delilah means darkness.
Well, she was a
Yeah, Delilah was the talker. All right, what does Dinah mean? Remember?
Window shopper.
Window shopper. She was window shopping. She was out shopping. She liked to go. It's the feminine form of Dan, which means judge. Thank you very much. I know Sharon would get it. Dinah means judge in the feminine gender. She had a habit of going out among the people of the city. You remember she lived a nomadic life, and here they come up to the city. Now, she always lived in tents. The nomads always live in tents. So she comes up here, and they have got buildings with walls around this city and everything, and houses in the city. And in this city, there was a big market. And she would go along, and she would look and see how the female inhabitants of the city were dressing, what they ate, how they talked, their language and everything. And she was just enamored with all of this strange people. And while she was there, she kept on looking at Shechem, and Shechem kept on looking at her. So Shechem one day just grabs her and says, "Come to my house with me." And he took her home and he undressed her. Now, as far as we know, he did not rape her. He did not penetrate her or anything like that. But he undressed her and he looked at her, and this was not permitted. He may as well have raped her. But one thing it keeps saying over and over again, that she was still a virgin. The Bible, the language of the Hebrew, keeps calling her a virgin, so evidently he did not force himself upon her. And it says that their hearts talked to one another. Their hearts talked to one another. And they were in love, tremendously in love with one another. And Shechem was crazy about her, and he didn't want to let her go back home. So he meets with Jacob and her brothers. And he brings his father, all right? And they meet out there, and they're making a marriage contract. They're making a marriage contract. Now, during this marriage contract, these are the words that are being spoken. Okay? These are the words that are being spoken during this marriage contract. And he says now, and every time in history, every time, now these people opened their arms and made them feel welcome, and they sold them some land. And it was good land. It was land that was watered. It was land that they could graze their many sheep and goats and cattle and donkeys and horses and camels. Jacob had a large family, and he had a large entourage. And he comes up here to Shechem, and he buys this parcel of ground out there that is well watered, that has pastures and meadows on it. And then his daughter starts going up there. Now, it says that his piece of land was right there at the front where the gates of the city were. He walked right up there, and they walked straight up there. So now, the girl is captive, probably of her own choice also. She's fallen in love, and he's fallen in love, and we have Shechem and we have Dinah in love in the city of Shechem. Now they come down and they're meeting now, and this happened. Now, David married women of what was called his foes. Okay? And he'd marry a woman from the foes, and we know that his son Solomon married many women from all over. We're going to see a difference between David's marriages and Solomon's marriages and Dinah's marriage to Shechem. We're going to find out that every person in the city of Shechem becomes a Judaistic convert. They all become converts. They lay down their gods and address Jehovah. They become converts of, we call it Judaism, but actually Judah was there, but it hadn't been called Judaism yet. This was what we call Israel. They'd become spiritual Israelites now. And that's what's going to happen. So here we're in the middle of a contract. 34 and verse 10. We itanu Teshiva Waharitz Teye Lefanikem Shivu Yusi Charuha Wiha Chazu. Now, Solomon, when he married strange women, foreign women, he began to worship their gods. In the city of Jerusalem, he built temples up on, looking down upon Jerusalem as the Mount of Olives. We're looking down from the Mount of Olives on Jerusalem there, looking down on it. On the Mount of Olives, Solomon built temples for his foreign wives. Okay? And many of these people would say, now, you marry our daughters and we'll marry your sons, and we'll take your daughters and you take our daughters, and vice versa. And then we're going to be all family. We're all going to be in-laws. And your grandchildren will be my grandchildren. And my grandchildren will be your grandchildren, and we will protect each other in war, and we will help each other in times of peace. That was it was a contract now. All right? And this is part of the contract. They're going through a marriage contract. And it's a legal marriage contract. And with us ye will keep on dwelling. Look at that word. Second person, masculine, plural, cal, imperfect. And with us, see that little we in the front of that? That's the and. That's a conjunction, that little wow. And then et is in there with a suffix. The sign of the direct object with a suffix on it. All right? And with us you shall keep on dwelling. And then we have we haaretz. And in this word here we have a conjunction. And we have a definite article. And then we have the word. All right? Aretz. And the land. We haaretz. And the land. Aretz is the word for land. And what does aretz mean? Remember what aretz means? Huh? It means dry ground. Dry ground. Compared to the land that has water all over it. All right? Dry earth. When those words were used originally, the earth was Pangea. All land on one side, Aretz. Okay? Aretz on one side. And water, or Mayim, on the other side, water. And this was called the dry land, or the Aretz. All right? And then what term do you use for land that is plowed and farmed? What land, what word is that? Adamah. Adamah. All right? That's the land that we're related to. Adam is related to Ha'adamah, the land, the earth. Okay? He's related to it because man and the earth were made from the same elements that came from God. All right? And man, when he dies, goes to the elements of the earth. And with us you keep on dwelling, and the land shall keep on becoming yours, is what he means, and it shall keep on becoming yours before all of your faces. Before all of your faces. And you dwell. You all dwell. And you go to and fro. And all around, go to and fro, and all around, masculine, plural, cal, imperative, you go to and fro, and all around, and hold fast to yourselves in it. Hold fast. Possess. Possess the land. You go through all the land, and you'll find out your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and all of us will possess the land together. All right? We'll all possess the land together. We'll catch it. We will keep the land, we will possess it, and we will protect the land. Because we will be one family. Now we come into 34 and verse 11. Can you say that first word there? Wayomer. Wayomer Shechem. El Avi. Wiel. Ah Shiha. Emsa. Chen. Be Enikem. Wa Asher. Tomeru. Ile. Etan. Do you see how well these people are reading? They've only been doing this for a few weeks. Only for a few weeks. And he said and kept on saying. Look at that word. Third person masculine singular cal wow consecutive imperfect. He said and he kept on saying. I mean, he was talking like a used car salesman. Motor mouth, so to speak. He just kept on saying. And this is Shechem. Now Shechem speaking. All right? He is begging for the hand of this woman that he is crazy in love with. And a girl is crazy in love with him, and he's crazy in love with her, and he's begging. He keeps on talking, and he keeps on begging unto her father. All right? Unto El, that's a preposition, unto, 39 and 40. Is where that one goes back to Brown, Driver, and Briggs. By the way, I cross-reference all of this to Brown, Driver, and Briggs. And to Davidson's Analytical Hebrew Lexicon. Brown's, Driver, and Briggs here is got about 1,100 and something pages in it. You go in here and you see the root of all the Hebrew words, Brown, Driver, and Briggs. And then I'll go into Kohler and Baumgartner, which is a 2-volume set, and it'll give you the history and the etymology of all these words and how they're used in a million different ways. The Hebrew language is a very limited vocabulary. The Greek language is an extremely intensely varied language with tremendous amount of grammar and tremendous amount of vocabulary. Hebrew is not that way. One word in Hebrew you may have to use it 5 different ways, so you will look at it from one angle, we'll look at it from another angle, and we'll just keep on looking at it and how it's used in the syntax. What is syntax? Syntax. Is that a tax on sin? What is syntax? Syntax means how it's used in the context of the sentence. All right? How it's used in the context of the sentence. And he keeps on speaking Shechem unto her father, Avi. What does Avi mean? What's the root of that now? Shechem means what? Shelter. And here we have Alpha and Beth. That's the root of this word here. Aleph means what? Head. Head. All right? This is the root for father now, okay? And then Beth, what is the sign for Beth? By the way, the sign for Aleph is the head of an ox. Okay? And the sign for Beth is what?
House.
House. Thank you. Now, what does this literally mean? The head of the house. That's what the father is, the head of the house. Okay? That's simple. That's what father means. Now, the Hebrews and the Arabs, they have an old saying that a child, the first words that a child would speak were when he's calling for his father, and he would say, Abba, 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 Abba. That's how, you know, how a little kid will blabber. Abba, 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 Abba. And see, he's calling for his father. He's calling for, not mama, but father. All right? And he said unto Shechem, unto her father, he kept on saying, kept on begging, and unto her Achiha, her brothers, let me find grace. Please let me find grace. Let me find favor. Let me find grace. The Greek equivalent to this is charis. Say charis. That's what we said, for by grace are ye saved. For by grace. Let us find grace in your eye. Let us find unmerited favor. Let us find favor. Let us find mercy. By mercy God saves us, doesn't he? And he's begging here, please have mercy on us. please have mercy. Now I'm going to tell you something. We've got Jack and we've got Shechem. They're very powerful people. They have a city. The city is named after Shechem. Shechem wasn't some pipsqueak. And they could have come down there and they could have not welcomed them. They could have killed every one of them if they wanted to. But they didn't do it. Graciously, they welcomed them among their people. And graciously, they sold them a piece of land. And now, they're going to be honorable and gracious because they're going to beg like children for the hands of the daughter, which they could have taken and said, jump in the creek. Okay? So that is the background of the story. Let us find grace and favor in your eyes, in your sight. And what you say, and what you keep on saying unto me, I shall give. I shall keep on giving. The sky is the limit. Name anything you want. Name any dowry that you want to to ask, and then add to it some more, because I love her. And I love her intensely. Now, when Geronimo started going with his girlfriend, when he started courting this girl, his first wife that he married, he had 10 different wives, I believe. All of them were killed. They just kept killing his wives. Well, the first wife that he married, he went to her father, and Geronimo was a very quiet man. He was called one who yawns, Goyoka. That's what his name was. And he was just kind of a quiet man and laid-back guy. And he went to this girl's father, and he says, "What do you want for her for a dowry?" He said, "I love my daughter very much. I'm going to put a high dowry because I want to know that you love her. If you pay a whole lot for her, I'll know you love her, and I want a whole herd of horses for her." A whole herd. Well, he only had a couple of horses. So he went out and he got a whole herd of horses for her. He risked his life and went out and stole a whole herd of horses and brought back twice as many as her father asked, because he loved her. And he gave her this great big dowry, more than her father asked for her, because he wanted to prove how much he loved her. Later on, this girl that he loved with the children that he had from her was murdered by the Mexican bandits in a city that they had gone down to trade with. And they were under a peace agreement with them. And Geronimo, when his wife and children, when he found them dead, he burned everything that he had up, and all of their clothes and all of his clothes. He burned everything he had. Burned it all up and sat and mourned and mourned and mourned. For months he mourned over the girl that he loved so much, that he had given twice as much as her father had asked because he loved her. And here we have another story like that right here in ancient times. And whatever you keep on saying unto me, I shall keep on giving, and I shall keep on giving, and I shall keep on giving. This is a black history in Israel's past. This is a black night in Israel's past. Harvu, Ale, Miod, Mahar, Umatan, Wiatenu, Kasher, Tomaru, Ile, Utanu, Li, Et, Hanara, Leisha. All right. The increase upon me exceedingly the price. I don't care what you ask. Just whatever you think she's worth, just keep on increasing it. Just keep on adding to the price. Keep on adding to the price. And keep on adding to the price. Exceedingly meot. And the dowry. And the purchase price. I will give from my heart, just as you keep on saying unto me. And you give to me et, sign of the direct object. See that? Wherever you see that, et. What is the equivalent in Greek of the preposition et? Ace. Ace. All right? Ace. That didn't work. Marilyn, could you throw this away from me? Now let's see if this one works. Aha, that one gets the stake. Ace is the Greek equivalent of et. And et is the first and last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, by the way. The first and last letter. And in Greek, Jesus said, I am the Alpha and the Omega. And John called him the Alpha and Omega. In the Hebrew, he is the Aleph and the Tau. The beginning and the end. All right? Same thing. And I will give just as you keep on saying unto me, and you give to me et ha naara, the young maiden, the young virgin, for a wife. Li isha. Li, that word lamet there in the front, that's a preposition. Page 515 in Brown, Driver, and Briggs. All right? And the isha. Isha. What does isha mean? Isha. Sharon, you know what it means, don't you?
Out of man.
Out of man. All right. Man is a primary creation of God, but woman is a secondary creation of God. Man came right straight from the person of God. God made man from the same elements as he made, and he formed him from the same elements as he formed the dust of the ground. Not from dust, he didn't make a mud doll, but from the same elements that he made dust, he made man. And then he breathed into man the breathings of lives, probably blood, Adam. Adam. Okay, say Adam. Adamah. That's earth. That's red earth and red man. All right. Adam. And then woman means out of man. Ish is man, and the Isha is woman. All right? You give for me the Isha. 34 and verse 13. Now we're going through the marriage contract. This is a marriage contract. They're setting out, hammering out the marriage contract. And this marriage contract has been hammered out between fathers ever since Adam. And the fathers would hammer out the contracts, and it was called a dabar in those old languages. A dabar. Remember what dabar means? Words. But it also means contract. Dabar. Davar also means a line of soldiers. Davar means a line of fence posts. Okay? That word is spread out. Page 180 and page 210. Page 180 in Brown, Driver, and Briggs, you look up Davar, and page 210 in Kohler and Baumgartner. $34.13. Wayanu B'nai Yaakov et Shechem Wiet Hamor Avi Be Mirma Davaru Asher Timnei Et Dinah Achotam And they kept on answering the sons of Jacob, Benai. That's the sons. What does son mean? Ben. What does Ben? What does son mean? By the way, sons and daughters come from the same root. Okay? Ben means according to a pattern. According to a pattern. You make your children according to a pattern. You have children that look like you sometimes. Have a child that looks like you, brother? Yeah. All right. I have one that looks like me. Actually, I've got two. That girl over there got a lot of traits from me also. They look like according to a pattern. According to a pattern. A woman never says she looks like me. She looks like Daddy, because I want her to be Daddy's child, see. The Indians used to say this, and I'm saying this tongue-in-cheek, but the Indians used to say, you always know who the mama is, but you're not quite sure who the daddy is. It has to be proven. Proven. All right? And so a woman would say many times, look how he looks like his daddy. All right? Look how he looks like his daddy. The sons of Jacob, and Jacob means what? To follow the heel. And Jacob, as I've said many times before, is one of the greatest examples of a Christian in the Bible. A lot of times I've heard preachers play him down as a trickster and a scoundrel and all that kind of stuff, but you just check his life out and find out what he was. That man went through more trials than any man in the Bible, and yet he did what was right. He constantly had on his mind the promises of God. That's all he was always worried about, was the promises of God, and how that he could protect his family and lead them in the right direction. He was really idealistic so many times. Remember one time when he took off from Laban, and his wife Rachel had stolen the family gods, the idols. They had ancestor worship. Remember that? And he says, and Laban came to him and said, you've stolen my gods. Jacob said, I didn't touch your gods. Whoever you find those idols with, you kill them. He didn't know it was his wife that stole them. But idealistic. He says, you kill the person that took them. I'll kill them. I don't want them to live around me. Well, his wife had stolen them, but he didn't know it. He never did find that out. Probably until after she was dead. But why did Rachel steal her father's gods? What was the reason behind that? Let's go back and do a little research here and a little remembering, a little test. Why did she steal her father's gods, her ancestor worship?
Did she think it'd bring her good luck?
They thought that her husband would be the head of the family, because he would carry the family gods and the ancestors would watch over him. Okay? And they were pagans, weren't they? They were pagans. Now here we find a whole bunch of different people. These people were pagans too. But they say and swear that they're going to lay down their pagan gods and they're going to follow the gods of Jacob. And answered the sons of Jacob, Shechem and Hamor, his father, in deceit. Be is in Miramah. Be Miramah. Say that. Be Miramah. That's deceit and lies. Deceit. The word is doulo. Doulo in Greek. Doulo. Doulo. Doulos. Or doulo. It means to be dishonest. To be a scoundrel. To be a con. To be a deceitful person. And spoke intensely and kept on speaking intensely because he had defiled Dinah, their sister. Now, they had defiled Dinah, their sister. How did they? As far as we know, she still wasn't in a family way. She still hadn't been raped. But he had undressed her, and he had taken her into his home, which was not allowed. He had done some things that was not allowed. But as a powerful man, he could have taken her and raped her and all that, but he's trying to be honorable to her family. He is trying to knit their families together. 34:14. And they kept on saying unto them, not, adverb of negation. Adverb of negation. We better read that first, huh? Wayomaru, Olehem, Lo, Nukal, La Asot, Hadavar, Hazeh, Letet, Et, Achotenu, Liesh, Asher, Lo, Arilah, Turn over to the next page. Ki, Cherpa, the Cherpa, He, Lanu. And they kept on saying unto them, not, we are able to do the thing. We are not able to do the thing. Look at that word devar there when it talked about the thing, the act, the contract. All right? We can't ascend to this contract. We're making a contract. We can't do this. This, to give our sister, Achotenu, our sister, to men to whom they have pointed foreskins, is what it meant. That's what it literally means in Hebrew. They have not been circumcised. These people were not covenanted people with them. They have pointed foreskins. They have foreskins intact. We're not going to do this. They're not part of the covenant of God with us. Okay? We're not going to give our daughter to foreskins. That's what they said. Because a disgrace, profane, to us it is. 34:15. Ak, Bizoth, Neot, Lachem, that is, Im, Tihu, Ka Manu, Li Himol, Lachem, Kal, Zakar. All right. Only is Ak, only in this. Only Bezoth. In, see that preposition on the front of that Zoth there? That's a Baith, page 88. That Baith is a preposition in. Only in this will we keep on consenting. What did they say there? Only this will we keep on consenting to our sisters and our family to be married to you. They will keep on. See, it's in perfect tense. Not only this time, but in the future will we keep on consenting to you, Lachem, if you shall keep on becoming in the future and now. In other words, we want you to become converts of Israel. That's it. You'll keep on becoming like us, to be circumcised. And how are they supposed to be? What did God tell Abraham? On the 8th day, now he told him to go home and circumcise all of his children. By the way, let's look at Abraham. Abraham had a child. Abraham was married 3 times. His first wife, Sarah, was a Shemite. His first child that he ever had was from a Hamite, which was Hagar. Her name means wanderer, pilgrim in the land. And then he had a third wife, which was a Japhethite. So we're all related to Abraham, aren't we? Hamites, Shemites, and Japhethites, that's the only thing there is in the world. All right, the 3 sons of Noah. But Abraham, when he had his first child, Ishmael, what does Ishmael mean? Ish means what? Ishmael, Ishmael, all right. It actually means to be heard by God. The man that was heard by God, or God hears, is what it literally means. God hears. Because poor old Hagar, she didn't have any choice of who was her husband, did she? She was a slave. She was bought and paid for a slave. And Sarah says, Abraham, go in to penetrate her and put seed in her. And she didn't have anything to say about it. She just went in there and that was it. And she had a child. Remember, Sarah thought that Abraham was impotent, not her. And she wanted to prove to him that she said, God's mad at me, that's why I'm not having any children. Here she was a beautiful woman and attractive and all this kind of stuff, even though she was older. And she thought it was Abraham's fault that they weren't having children. So she's going to prove to Abraham that it's not her fault. So she said, take this young woman and go into her and see what happens, old fella. Well, she got pregnant right off. And then it was proved that it was Sarah that God was withholding. She was the one. So she gets mad. And she is so angry. What does Sarah mean? What does the name Sarah mean? It comes from the Hebrew word Sarah, which means what? It means to fight and to war. She was contrary and argumentative all the time. The word prince comes from that word, the word prince, and a prince is a warrior and a fighter. And she started arguing and she ran off. Hagar ran off. And then she was out here alone, and God said, I hear your prayer, and when you have this child, you name him Ishmael, God hears. Okay? God named that child. And he took, remember, God always looks after the underdogs, which he did, Hagar. But Abraham, when he penetrated Hagar, he was circumcised, wasn't he? Not uncircumcised, I mean. The next child he had was a covenant child, and God had him circumcised. And the next child, the next time that he penetrated Sarah, she gave birth. And he changed Abraham's name. He put the 5th letter of the Hebrew alphabet in Abraham's name and in Sarah's name, which is that one right there. Sarah and Abraham both have a het in their name, which is 5 is the number of grace. And after he was circumcised, then he brought forth this child, the covenant child. Of course, all the Japhethites, he had them after he was circumcised also. All right. And let be circumcised to you all the males. All right. You're all going to become sons of Israel or members of Judaism. Now, what do they say about this? Let's see what they say. Let's see what happens. We natananu et binotanu lechem we et binotehem nikah lanu wayashav nu itikem we ha yenu liam ikad. And then we shall give our daughters. These are the sons. Then we shall give our daughters to you, and your daughters we shall take. We shall keep on taking for ourselves, and we shall dwell. We shall have dwelled with you, and we shall become for a people one. We'll become one people. We'll become a family. All right? 34:17. We am lo tishmiu elanu lehem mo lehemol we la kanu et betanu we halakenu. And if not, if you don't listen, if you don't keep on listening unto us to be circumcised, we will take the daughter and we will go. If you don't become members of Israel, we will not give you our daughter. We will take our daughter and we will go. Okay? Wayetanu Divrehim Be'ene Hamor Yuvene Shechem Ben Hamor Weyet Tavu and it seemed wonderful. See that word tov in there? Tov is good. That's like kalos in Greek. All right, kalos and tov. It's good, spiritually good. And it seemed spiritually good to their words. Now, their contract. This is a contract. Okay? This is a contract. The word devar here is a contract. In their eyes, Hamor, and in eyes of Shechem, son of Hamor. Here we have the first mass group of Israeli or Israelite converts. Okay? The first mass conversion. We lo, Achar, Hanaar, La asot hadavar. Ki hafetz. Bevat. Hayakov. Wihu. Nikbad. Mikol. Bet. Avi. And not. They. Turn this old fellow over here. And in no way did they delay. And in no way did they delay the youth to do the word, the contract, the marriage contract. Part of the marriage contract is that they would become converts. Because he delighted. He had delighted. He had cheerfully and happily delighted in the daughter of Jacob. And he kept on honoring. He kept on honoring from all the house of his father. He kept honor. He kept on honoring. Remember, I told you this is an honorable thing. He was an honorable. These were honorable people. They might have been heathens, but I'll tell you what, they had more integrity than these boys did. Why Yavu, Hamar, Yushakem, Beno, El Sha'ar, Iram, Y Davaru, El Anshi, Iram Lemor. And kept on coming in Hamor and Shechem, his son, unto the gate of their city. Now, why did they go to the gate of the city? Why did they go to the gate? Huh?
That's where they had meetings.
This is the courthouse.
Yeah.
They went to the courthouse. Here's the city, the walled city. Marilyn, here's you another one to throw away. You haven't caught anything yet.
No, next time I will.
All right. Here is the city, the walled city, and here is a gate, and inside the gate there was a hall. This is where all the lawyers and judges and the heads of every family would be. Okay? Right there, in the gate of the city. And it says, and they kept on going into the gate of the city, and they kept on speaking. Oh, they spoke out strongly and forcefully. See that in the PL stem. They kept on speaking out strongly and forcefully unto the men of the city, saying, Ha-na-shim, ha-anashim, ha-ile, shilamin, hem, itanu, wayeshavu, ba'aretz, weyesharu, ota, wiha'aretz, hene, rachavot, yadaim. Lefenehem, et, banatam, nikah, lanu, li nashim, wiet, banatanu, nitan, lahem. And the men of these, they made an agreement of peace. They made a peace treaty. They made a peace treaty. An agreement. The word shalom means what? Agreement. Without an agreement, there is no peace. They made a contract. They made a peace agreement. They signed the peace agreement. And they with us. And to allow to dwell, third person masculine plural cal juices in meaning, and allow to dwell, and to make one family in the land, and to go to and fro in her. To go to and fro in her, the land is feminine, by the way. To go to and fro in her, and the land, and behold wide with both hands. Behold wide with both hands. It's a big land. Before their faces they said, all of this is yours now when you become one of us. You will hold this land in common. This will be all our land. Daughters, let us keep on taking for ourselves, and wives and marriages for women and our daughters, and let us keep on giving to them. All right. This is how many ancient peace treaties were granted. This is how Solomon made peace treaties. This is how David made peace treaties. But now let's go into volume number 4. Volume number 4. And find out the rest of the story. All right, the rest of the story. (34:22) Ak, Vizoth, Yotanu, Yotu, Lanu, Ha-Anashim, La-Shevet, Itanu, Li-Yot, Liam, Echad, Behemol, Lanu, Kal, Zakar, Kasher, Hem, Nim, Molim. Only in this we will consent. Now this is a written contract. Now it's going down on paper. Here we have all the judges. We all have all the heads of the family, and we're meeting in the courthouse, and these words are being written down as they're speaking them. Okay? To us, the men, Hana Ashim, to dwell with us, to become for a people one, and being circumcised. We're going to go into the covenant of God, of Jacob's God. We're going to be covenanted with them, with their God. We're going to lay down our gods, lay down our principles, and we are going to become one with Jacob's people, with Israel. To us, every male, in which they, being circumcised, they will continue their family, every male. See, this is participle here. Masculine plural, Nephael participle. Every male on the 8th day now, just like Abraham, is going to be circumcised from now on. This is the story. Miknehem. Wikim Yanu. Nong. We call Bihatam, Halo, Lanu, Hem, Ak, Neotah, Lahem, Yeshavu, Itanu. They're cattle. Look at that. Miknehem. They're cattle. These are their big cattle. Their cattle and their property and all of their beasts of burden. Behematam. All the big ones. This is the big camel. This is the big oxes. This is the horses. And all the big donkeys. The not to us, they. Only let us, each one of us, consent. Let each one of us consent from our hearts. This is the first person corporal plural, Nephahel cohorti. To them. And let them dwell with us. And let them dwell with us. The whole city is converted. Wayishmiu. El, Hamor, Wiel, Shechem, Beno, Kal, Yatsi, Sha'ar, Iro, Wayim Molu, Kal, Zakar, Kal, Yetzi, Sha'ar, Iro. And they kept on listening and obeying. Wayish miyu. We get that word Simon comes from that word. Simon means to hear and to obey. And they listened and they obeyed. They kept on listening and obeyed unto Hamor and unto Shechem, his son. And those going out of the gate, right here is the courthouse. Everybody that came in that city and went out of that city was going to be a convert from now on. They're going to adhere to Judaism. They're going to all be circumcised. They're going to circumcise their children. And all those going in and out of the gate, Participle. See that? Well, masculine, plural, cal, participle. Out of the gate of his city. And they were circumcised. Each one of them, voluntarily, were circumcised. Every male. And all the ones going out of the gate of his city. So we have the first mass conversion to Israel. They have voluntarily become children of Israel. They have voluntarily have been circumcised. And I'm going to tell you something. That's not like going out and being baptized. Okay? This takes a lot of pain in this. You have to be serious to want to do this. This is serious business. Not only was every man circumcised, when every man was circumcised, they left themselves wide open because they couldn't defend themselves for days. Days and days they couldn't defend themselves. Days and days they were going to be so sore that they couldn't cohabit with their wives or anything. It's going to take them probably a month or more to heal up from this act that they had made, this contract that they had made with these sons of Israel and with Israel. They had left their lives and their families and their city defenseless when they did this. And they knew it. You want to go on further, or is this enough for this week? Is this enough for this week? Let's get up here and read this in the Amplified Bible now. All right, let's read this in the Amplified Bible and see what the Amplified Bible, then I'm going to turn you loose on the world. All right? And where did we begin tonight? 34 and what? 34 5? Was that 5 or 9? 34 9 to 34 25. All right. All right. Who is going to bring that up here? Are you going to bring up Joe? Joe, you want to come up? Joe, you're a very good reader.
Yes, but I got cataract and I can't see very
Oh.
But
Well,
I'll try.
okay.
I'll be a good sport.
Okay, you come up here and be a good sport. And do this for your son in, where is he? North Dakota? North Dakota. All right.
He's up there with the oil wells.
All the oil wells.
Verse 9, 34, 9.
9, 34, 9 through 34, 25.
And make marriage with us, and give your daughters to us, and take our daughters to you. You shall dwell with us. The country will be open to you. Live and trade, and get your possessions in it. And Shechem said to Diana's father and to her brothers, Let me find favor in your eyes, and I will give you whatever you ask of me. Ask me ever so much dowry and marriage gift, and I will give it according to what you tell me. Only give me the girl to be my wife. The sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, justifying their intended actions by saying, in effect, We are going to do this, because Shechem has defiled and disgraced our sister Diana. They said unto them, We cannot do this thing and give our sister to you, who is not circumcised, for this would be a reproach and a disgrace to us. But we do consent to do this, if you will become as we are, and every male among you be circumcised. Then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you and become one people. But if you will not listen to us and consent to be circumcised, then we will take our daughters and go. Their word pleased Hamor and his son Shechem. And the young man did not delay to do the thing, for he delighted in Jacob's daughter. He was honored above all in the family, in his family. So ranking first, he acted first. Then Hamor and Shechem his son came to the gate of their enclosed town and discussed the matter with the citizens, saying, These men are peaceable with us, so let them dwell in the land and trade in it, for the land is large enough for us and for them. Let us take their daughters and for wives, and let us give them our daughters. But the men will consent to our request that they live among us and be one people, only on condition that every male among us will be circumcised as they are. Shall not their cattle and their possessions and all their beasts be ours? Only let us consent to them, and they will dwell here with us. And all the people who went out of the town gate listened and heeded what Hamor and Shechem said, and every male was circumcised who was a resident of that town.
All right.
Is that for now?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Okay.
it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All of them were circumcised. All of them left themselves wide open because they knew they wouldn't be able to defend themselves for weeks ahead yet. All right, so there's where we are. That's where we'll start next week. Thank you for enduring those hard seats tonight, and I hope you learned something from God's Word. Brother Mike and Sharon, good to have you in here tonight with us. Brother Mike, would you mind dismissing us in prayer? Would that be all right with you? All right. Would you come up here? All right.
Where do I go? Right here?
Right up here.
Father God, we come to you this fine evening thanking you for this body of worship, for the spiritual leader that's guiding us. We want to thank you for this day. We want to thank you for open worship. We want to wish blessings on everyone in this class and within this body of this church. And we want to thank you and praise your mighty name. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, brother. Well, now you have volume number 4, and you got introduced in it tonight. And I'm working on volume number 5, by the way. And I'll try to get it done by the time we're through with volume number 4. All right? And I hope the Lord will give me the grace and the life to go on and teach the rest of this book. God bless you.